Hey co-reporters, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. I'm so sorry, first of all, that I'm really late on all of these recaps. It's just that Teen Mom OG premiered when I was out of town, and of course it was a double episode. So by the time I got back and watched the episodes, I was like, damn it, I'm already 2 episodes behind. This sucks. And you know how that goes when you're like behind on stuff and you get really frustrated with it to the point where you just don't even want to do it. That's how I was feeling for a little while, but I'm back and I'm ready to recap it. So let's get right into it. So one of the first things that I noticed when I watched the premiere episode of Teen Mom OG was that the whole show seemed just so odd. Like none of it screamed teen to me anymore, because these women all look so old these days. Like not old like in a rude way, but like they're obviously not teenagers, you know what I mean? Like Farrah looks like the 40-year-old housewife, Amber looks like, you know, the 30-year-old soccer mom, Caitlyn as well, like the 40-year-old soccer mom who's really sick of her husband. Macy, she just looks like that high school girl, perpetual student that she is, all that kind of stuff. Like they just didn't scream teen to me anymore. Like it was so disconnected, and like the lifestyles that they were leading could not be any more different as well. I mean, first we had Farrah, who's navigating her new career as a porn star. You've got Macy, the underachieving career student who still, I don't know whatever happened to that 7-year associate's degree, who just continues to pop out babies. You've got Caitlyn, who lives in that one sweater, who literally just bites her teeth all damn day long. And of course you've got Amber, who literally just bankrolls a 40-something-year-old man who actually might be 50-something, which is something for a new video. Stay tuned, I'm working on that soon. Anyway, let's get into this episode really quickly here. So of course the episode kicks off with our star Farrah. We see the porta potties for like the first time. Before, this was just a rumor that was around on the Ashley's Reality Roundup, but we literally see the porta potties being wheeled over into Farrah's house, and Farrah opens the door looking like a 40-year-old housewife with, you see her overinflated lips that looks like a baboon's asshole, kind of like Kale's lips and Janelle's lips as well. Farrah, forgetting that she was once that teenager who was crying over a used Ford Focus, tells Larry, the producer of like the whole franchise, you guys aren't going to complain about my porta potties this season, are you? She's so effing patronizing. I don't know how anyone can stand her, bless her soul. And honestly, Farrah's scenes are always so oddly staged because she literally has no friends. And this is not me being rude, like she literally has no friends. She's always either filming with her mom, with Simon, or with like a producer. She's like holding up her new sign for her podcast show. Her mom is holding a jar of pasta in the middle of the living room, because that's what we all do whenever we have guests over. Oh, hello, welcome to my house. Jar of pasta. Fancy any? So at some point in the scene, Farrah and her mom head over to the kitchen, and Farrah starts complaining to her mom about the fact that she bought Simon a ring to propose to her with, and he, first of all, hasn't proposed to her with it, and second of all, hasn't even paid her back. This is really funny that she would even admit to this, because just last season, she was telling her, Simon, like, Simon, I'm not gonna wait years to get engaged to you. That's for ugly girls. And like, here she is, still not engaged, and worse yet, buying her own engagement ring. So Farrah, if only ugly girls wait years to get engaged, what are girls who buy their own engagement rings? Next scene is Caitlyn and Tyler talking about how they want a different house because Tyler can't stand how his house is an open concept anymore. And this really hit me, because we all remember being introduced to Caitlyn and Tyler as like that couple that was living in poverty with like really uneducated parents, like in trailer parks where there's a lot of abuse, substance abuse, physical abuse, verbal abuse, all that stuff. And they're talking about, wow, this home is no longer, first of all, this beautiful home is not open concept enough for me, so I want to buy a whole new home, demolish it, and then customize it to my liking. It's just so crazy to see the difference between night and day from them. And like, first of all, I'm happy for them, but at the same time, I'm really disappointed because they haven't made the most of their opportunities, and this is money that will vanish shortly after MTV because they don't seem to be investing it wisely. And like, honestly, one of the best investments in the world is your education, and they literally give no shits about it. And it's sad because that's the main reason they gave up their daughter, right? Amber is next up. Her dog, she still has them running amok in her friggin' house. One of them pisses on a producer, and then in that moment, I was like, Amber, you are a dirty ass girl. Like, your dog pee on people. That is definitely not the first time, and it's probably not the last time. Like, I know you're glued to your couch, but you could at least like have like, I don't know, pee pads on your couch for your dogs to come join you or something. And then we finally get to Maci. They know how much anticipation all of us had for seeing seeing how Maci would try to hide her obvious baby bump. And yes, it was obviously there. She's wearing all these big ass sweaters, all these layers, trying to fool us. She's been doing it since last season, but last season, Maci was bold. Yeah, Maci was pregnant last season, but she was drinking in front of the cameras because she was still small enough to do it. But here she's obviously way too big to be doing that. So she stopped drinking and instead took up sweaters and layers, and it's just pathetic, her attempt at hiding this baby bump, this obvious ass baby bump. Another major giveaway for Maci being pregnant for me was her breathing. My sister, when she was pregnant, she would breathe so heavy, and like getting up and sitting down was like, you know? So Maci is speaking with like a really heavy, like labored breathing voice as she's speaking with Taylor. And it's like the simplest sentences are like leaving her breathless. Like they're taking all the wind out of her. And it's like, Maci, 2 kids in and you really don't know the symptoms? You think we're that dumb, girl? No, 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 no. It doesn't take everyone 7 years to finish an associate's degree. Some of us can figure a few things out. And the next step, we see Maci's second baby daddy, Taylor, go ring shopping on air, which of course he does, because obviously he'd either get the ring for free or at a significant discount, because duh, he's facing it on national television. And of course, Taylor would be the guy to do that, right? Hey, more. Matt and Amber take Amber's daughter Leah horseback riding, and everything starts off nice until Matt gets a phone call from someone telling him a story is about to be leaked about him impregnating and leaving yet another woman. And I think this time it was a woman that he had been married to. This is like the 7th or 8th one that has come out, and by this time he's kind of got it like down packed, and he plays it like really cool with Amber and Leah and stuff like that. He's like, this is ridiculous, what a lie, I can't believe people get off lying on me, blah 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 blah, and just hangs up and goes back at it. Amber gets irritated because her horse was going too fast or something like that. Yeah, it was going too fast and becoming too aggressive. So she's like, let's go, I'm sick of this, blah blah blah, back at it, let's go home. Next up is Kaitlyn and Tyler, and they have the infamous Weight Watchers scene that I recapped in another video, so I'm not gonna get too into it. If you wanna watch that, browse my channel. I'm gonna give you the link right here. One thing that I didn't note in the video that I'm really upset about, and I wanna like clear the air here, is that I didn't notice that Tyler himself, while badgering Kaitlyn about a simple quesadilla, was eating a plate full of fried chicken and french fries and like dipping them in freaking ranch dressing. Another thing about you, Tyler, is that you too have gained weight, but you don't see us commenting on that. So lay off on Kaitlyn a little bit, why don't you? Again, like I told you, Farrah really doesn't have many friends, and of course, real celebrities are not interested in interacting with her for a variety of reasons. Number 1, being porn star. Number 2, being a really shitty ass attitude. So the only guests that she could get on her podcast are the show's producers. And at some point, a certain caller calls into the producer, and he's essentially like, Larry, why would you have someone like Farrah on a show like Teen Mom? She's a bad example. She's got an awful attitude and she's a porn star. That doesn't faze Farrah one bit. She is really used to it. And so Farrah shoots back. Farrah tells her that she's not a porn star and that she just made a celebrity sex tape. But who's the celebrity? Gary is the next guy that we see on this show. He's talking to his wife Christina about how he has this custody agreement that he keeps sending to Amber, and Amber continues to reject it. And they think that this is the final time, this is the final copy, and Amber will be happy with it. All she has to do is sign it over. So Maci and her baby bump are sitting down with Jade. Oh, sorry, was I not supposed to talk about her baby bump? Were we supposed to pretend we don't see it? And after that, Tyler goes and visits his mom, and of course they gossip about Kaitlyn like a bunch of little queens. Tyler tells his mom that him and Kaitlyn are kind of thinking about having more babies, which is really ridiculous considering they're both undereducated and unemployed. Like there's literally nothing they're gonna be able to do to support their family once the MTV gravy train stops. And you can't have a show called Teen Mom with a bunch of fucking 30-year-olds. And then after they talk about the whole like ridiculous having more babies thing with no career and no education, Tyler brings the subject over to Kaitlyn's weight. And then Kaitlyn's mom's like, oh, like she's always struggled with her weight. I've never really seen Kaitlyn as much of an ambitious girl. And I'm like, what? Kaitlyn's unambitious? Is your son like some kind of fucking scholar that he's not telling us about? Is his book finished? And I'm not even sticking up for Kaitlyn. Like Kaitlyn, yeah, is a lazy girl. Yeah, she seems pretty unambitious. But like your son, Tyler, is no fucking prize. And so after that, Farrah and Simon go house hunting in LA where Simon lived. And then after they visit the home, the two of them sit down and discuss their relationship. One thing that really stuck out to me here was the fact that we know Simon lives in LA, but then Farrah goes, oh, like, I'm so happy to finally be getting a home here because I won't have to stay in hotels anymore when I come into town. Did anyone else wonder, if you're visiting LA and your serious boyfriend lives in LA, why are you staying in hotels? That's weird. But then like the conversation continues and Farrah just continues to snap at him like, you don't seem excited enough. I decide for Sophia, no one else, blah, 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 blah. And then you see why she's not welcome in his home. It makes sense now, Simon. Smart move. After Farrah and Simon's blow-up fight, we get to see something a little bit more calm. Taylor, the fame whore, is doing a nice little advertising spot for the engagement ring he bought for Macy. And Macy's reaction was pretty much 10% surprised, 90% relieved that all that nagging really did finally pay off instead of running him off. And I think she's also relieved at the fact that she's knocked up yet again by him. And she's like, yeah, this time I'm finally gonna have a ring. It may not be before I was engaged, but at least I'm pretending I didn't know I was knocked up. That's what she really seemed like to me. So when all these moms really got together in that scene after the engagement, you could really see how old they were. Like, they all look like either old housewives or old soccer moms. And then you think of the show being called Teen Mom, you're like, ooh, no, time to stop. These women look old. No, no more Teen Mom. This is like underachieving, borderline 30-year-old moms at this point. Like, this is uneducated and 30. Macy tells all the girls that she is engaged to Taylor. They're all happy for her. And you can see, first of all, she is so pregnant as she's sitting on the arm of that chair with this big belly. Macy is like fucking 70 pounds soaking wet at her regular state. There's no way in hell this girl did not know she was knocked up. She's just sitting there with her big belly like, oh, I just got engaged. And then Caitlyn cracks a joke. I think Caitlyn was being shady here, pretending she didn't know nothing, like looking at that baby bump. She's like, wow, next up is the babies. And Taylor and Macy do this fake, oh no, oh my goodness. That's scandalous, knowing damn well they're knocked up. I thought that was really, really funny. And another thing that really stuck out to me there, besides all of them looking old as hell, too old to be on a show called Teen Mom, was the fact that Farrah kind of just like goes by and says hi to them. Like, they all look like really, I don't want to say frumpy, but like non-glamorous, like regular Jane people. And then Farrah comes in all this like makeup and like hair and like dress and stuff. She's like, congratulations. She kind of looks like this, I don't know, like porn star or like D-list celebrity star greeting like a bunch of sort of like peasants and saying congratulations. I thought that was really funny. And then the last scene was Macy telling all the families, like Bentley too, that like she was engaged to Taylor officially, and Bentley cried, blah, 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 blah. Really boring first episode, but what do you expect? It's Teen Mom OGs, and these girls are boring as hell. That's all for now, everyone. Make sure to follow me across social media, where I absolutely love chatting with you. You can also like, comment, and share this video for a lot more. Feel free to request whatever topics you want down in the comment section. I'm always listening. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.